this is Punch on Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moo, shine himself. I know a lot of people lost confidence in Keith one-time Thurman, the former unified welterweight champion of the world, former pound-for-pound welterweight champion of the world, and top dog in the welterweight division. Even I consider myself the #1 Keith one-time Thurman fan, and I have lost a little bit of confidence. Of course, he hasn't been in the ring, but I do believe that a lot of people forget how special Keith one-time Thurman used to be. How special he was, how dangerous he was. I see people right now saying that he's a gatekeeper. What? Gatekeeper? He only lost to Manny Pacquiao, a legend, an 8th Division World Champion, 5 Liddy, the 12-time World Champion, the ambassador, the setter, the humanitarian, the best karaoke singer of them all. He lost to Manny Pacquiao, that's regarded probably the greatest ever. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that people forget how special, not just how good, but how special Keith one-time Thurman is. Do you remember the time when Oscar de la Hoya stated that Keith one-time Thurman could beat Triple G? Do you remember the time when Paulie Malignaggi said that he could beat both Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao? Do you remember the time when Bo Mack said, what would be a more dangerous fight or harder fight for Terrence Bud Crawford? And he said, Keith one-time Thurman? Well, let me take you back into memories lane. Go.
Think it's better out of the two, Thurman or Golovkin?
Thurman. Oh, absolutely. Thurman. Thurman is, one thing about Keith Thurman is that he knows how to move. He lateral, uses combinations, he thinks in the ring. He's like...
Keith Thurman, where do you put him? How much talent does this kid have?
I think Keith might be the best welterweight in the world right now. If he were to fight Mayweather and Pacquiao right now, I would pick Keith to beat both of them.
Why?
I would pick Keith Thurman to beat both those guys.
Who would be the most challenging?
Probably Thurman. Probably Thurman, yeah.
A lot of people think Spence.
Thurman is just, he's mobile, good with his punches. He punches from different angles.
If Floyd Mayweather comes back for number 50, who does he fight if you could pick him an opponent for number 50?
I know he won't pick Thurman because Thurman is a threat.
You think so?
Well, there you go. A couple of credible opinions that believe what I believed, that Keith one-time Thurman was that special fighter. The type of special fighter that Oscar de la Hoya said that could beat Triple G. The special fighter that Paulie Malignaggi, who is a major fan and supporter of Floyd Mayweather, said that Keith one-time Thurman could beat Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. You already know Keith one-time Thurman fought Manny Pacquiao, but that not that Keith one-time Thurman. Bo Mack, the trainer, manager of, I'm not sure is he the manager, of Bud Crawford, stated that the most difficult fighter out of the two of Thurman and Earl Spence, he said Keith one-time Thurman. Diaz, trainer Joel Diaz, y'all saw the video. He said that Floyd Mayweather wouldn't fight a Keith one-time Thurman. No, not a Keith one-time Thurman. He's a major threat. And we already saw that Floyd Mayweather actually picked Andre Berto for his finale and didn't pick Keith one-time Thurman, who was in position since beating Diego Chavez to get a WBA shot. Keith one-time Thurman was that dude. Keith one-time Thurman was special. Still special to me because I'm a diehard Keith one-time Thurman fan. He made me love boxing again, especially the 07-08 class. I'm talking about the Gary Russell Jr. of the world, the Deontay Wilder, the Charlo brothers, Bud Crawford, Mikey Garcia, Leo Santa Cruz, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. That was my favorite class. That was my class. Saddam Ali, loved that class. When I was getting tired of the professional level, I started paying attention to the amateur circuit, and that was my class. Demetrius on Boo Boo Andre, Charles Hatley. That was my class. But I understand a lot of people have frustration of Keith one-time Thurman. A lot of people call him the Derrick Rose of boxing. But let me tell you like this. Keith one-time Thurman digs back, digs deep, and find that special, find that hunger. And I hope he does every day. And I know I did a video a couple of days ago, and I said, you know what, man, it's probably done, man. He probably need to retire. Probably is 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I hope that I'm wrong. And I probably did that video because I probably hope one of the people in his team sees the video or himself to understand that there's fans out there that still wants to see the Don't Duck Me Son Keith one-time Thurman, because we all know how special you was, how special you used to be, the potential that you had. Keith one-time Thurman was that dude, and now a lot of people feel like you're a gatekeeper. And I disagree. He is no gatekeeper because he lost to Manny Pacquiao one time. I'm talking about losing it to a legend one time. He ain't no damn gatekeeper to nobody. And yeah, Keith from Tom Thurman versus Boots Ennis is a good fight. Yes, I love it. Yo, y'all already know, man. In this channel, I've been talking about Jerome Boots Ennis probably more than anybody in the YTBC. I said that he was the second coming to Roy Jones Jr. Huh? Virgil Ortiz, a fight with Keith from Tom Thurman. It's a big fight. Those are big fights. But also a Keith from Tom Thurman versus Earl True Spence that's been marinated longer than probably any fight in the sport of boxing. It's a great fight. A fight with Bud Crawford is a great fight. And Keith from Tom Thurman is in position for those great fights. So you can't expect Keith from Tom Thurman to look back while he's in position to get a title shot, while he's in position to get his belts back. Why do you know he's not a gatekeeper? Ladies and gentlemen, he's in the same position. Well, Boots Ennis in the same position, but Keith from Tom Thurman was Virgil Ortiz, and Boots Ennis was in the same position that Keith from Tom Thurman was when he was in position to get a Floyd Mayweather fight. Did he get the Floyd Mayweather fight? No. Matter of fact, they in the same position that Earl Spence was when Keith Thurman had the strap. Right after. Everybody got to take their turn, but Earl Spence was never ranked in the WBA or the WBC. He was ranked in the IBF, so he was never in line to fight Keith from Tom Thurman, even though there was a lot of narrative pushed out there that says that he was ducking Earl Spence. Nah, he was not ducking Earl Spence. He was just not in line. While Keith Thurman was looking up at the Manny Pacquiaos and the Floyd Mayweather and get the title shots and guys that came from his class like Daniel Garcia and Sean Porter, he was looking at them. Earl Spence came later, so he wasn't looking back, just like he's not looking back now. And y'all shouldn't be depressed, and y'all shouldn't try to shame Keith from Tom Thurman and look back when he's in position to get the title shots. And ladies and gentlemen, he's in the same level as Earl Spence and Bud Crawford. When I'm talking about skillful, when I'm talking about the bag, the toolbox, he's in the same skills. They're probably just as good or more or better in certain wrinkles. So I hope that Keith from Tom Thurman, like he said in the latest interview, he's in the gym. I hope he's getting his hunger back. I hope he's going to be healthy. I hope he does get these type of fights. If the Bud Crawford Earl Spence don't happen, I want to see Earl Spence fight Keith from Tom Thurman. He's already the WBC #1, and I know a lot of people was like, oh, skeptical why he's #1 in the WBC, because he is a former champion, a marquee name. And he actually fought Mario Barrios for the WBC Eliminator, in which Boots was fighting in the IBF elimination bout versus Custio Clayton. And Virgil Ortiz is going to be fighting through the WBO McKinson. So you got to think about it, y'all. He's putting money in the pocket of the WBC. So they're gonna look. So the WBC is going to give him the benefit of that. Is going to push him because they are benefiting from Keith from Tom Thurman. At the moment, they're not benefiting from Boots nor Virgil. And this is why you see what you see, ladies and gentlemen. You got to understand the business of boxing. Yes, the Mario Barrios, there was a pay-per-view that everybody was, oh, I don't want to pay for it. Yes, that was a WBC eliminator. That's why you saw him with the silver medal. It was an eliminator. So he fought to be in that position. Yes, he fought for it. So, I would love to see all these fights. But Keith Thurman is not no gatekeeper. Not at this point in his career. Not what he has accomplished. He hasn't fought enough. But what everybody else has done is more significant than Keith from Tom Thurman. Just let's not forget that Earl Spence just fought for a third world title. He just became a 3-belt holder. You know what I'm saying? They had enough time to surpass Keith from Tom Thurman significantly. What has Bud earned? While Keith from Tom Thurman is only fighting 4 times in the span of five years. So at the end of the day, a lot of people was frustrated about what everybody else is doing. I mean, they chipping away, but nothing more significant. And this is why Keith from Tom Thurman is in position, because they haven't done a lot of things more significant. They haven't moved up. Earl Spence haven't moved up to the 154. So the trio, the 3-headed monsters, is in play right now. Keith from Tom Thurman, Earl Spence, and Bud Crawford, whether you like it or not. And at this point, you can't shame Keith from Tom Thurman and looking back for Boots and Virgil, even though that I would love them to get their opportunity. But just like everybody had to wait, like Earl Spence and Keith from Tom Thurman and everybody else, they got to wait. But hopefully they get some good fights. While they wait, I know it's frustrating. We don't want them to wait. Maybe the Belt Federation has to do their due diligence and mandate these fights. Hey, mandate Earl True Spence for the IBF, mandate Keith Tom Thurman at the WBC, and mandate Bud Crawford through the WBO with Virgil Ortiz. And we could speed this thing up. But it has nothing to do with the fighter. We have to put the pressure on the Belt Federation to do their job and mandates these fights that's going to bring a lot of money to the welterweight division, and it's stacked up. Conor Benn is a good fighter as well. With all of them, right? So Keith Thurman is not no gatekeeper. And Boots Ennis got to understand that, and Virgil Ortiz got to understand that. And Conor Benn got to understand that. That Keith Thurman is in position to get a world title shot, just like Boots and Virgil Ortiz. But Keith Thurman at WBC, and he's in position. And I know that if Boots Ennis had to choose Keith Tom Thurman or Earl Spence, he would choose Earl Spence. If Boots Ennis, Virgil Ortiz had a chance to get Keith Thurman or Bud Crawford, they would pick to be world champion. And Keith Thurman would do the same. So there you go, man. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Love you, God bless, and on to the next.